Welcome to the daily astrology, human design, and tarot report with Jason Livanis and me, Janet Hickox.
One and only.
The one and only. Jason, you look quite comfy cozy this morning in your little robe.
I will pan out because I'm by the window and you're not. We can only see the window coming in like God, but I'm going to pan out. You see, we're beginning to change the leaves.
Ooh, yeah, let me pan out. Let me see if everybody can see that it's still dark in my part of the world, like darkness.
Yeah.
And such is the way it is in the fall, you know. It's going to be a little cloudy today, but God, I heard that we're going to be up in the 60s on Saturday, which is awesome because that's football day for me to have to go watch little kids play football in the rain usually.
I have to say, Janet, I just shifted my camera to a different position so I can get more of you in. And I'm sure all of the watchers are a little bit like giggling, but no shit. You look like the Ice Queen with the white. Wait, I mean, I'm looking at you like with the white complexion, Polish, whatever it is that you've got going down. The white shirt, the white skin, the blue steel eyes. Seriously, it looks like you could go and like.
Oh, Lord, that's funny. But it's funny that we're both wearing the same color this morning. We did not plan this at all. We never plan what we're going to wear. Thanks, Michelle. Michelle says, I look great. I love you, Michelle. Thank you.
Oh, she always does.
90 degrees today in Northern California where she is. And Northern California had been on fire. Oh, my God. Oh, but it's humid. Humid is good because that means less likely to create fires.
It's 90 in Cali?
Yeah. Didn't you hear last night at the Dodgers game? I think it was the first World Series game. I don't know. I don't follow baseball, but that it was like nearly 100 degrees when they were playing.
You didn't hear that at the Met last night they had to put the heat on? I mean, why would I know about fucking sports? What's wrong with you? You want to tell me? I can tell you what happened at the opera last night. But,
what happened at the opera? The Phantom of the Opera. Well, actually, the Phantom of the Opera died last night. Robert Guillaume, who played the black version of the Phantom, passed away at age 89. What a man. He was always, I just loved the sound of his voice.
Who?
Robert Guillaume. Beautiful black cocoa bean colored skin. Was in Benson.
Honey, I'm stunned. I didn't hear about it. He had a gorgeous, I mean, not many people knew. He did Shakespeare. He was quite, but my God, Benson.
Hi, Roseanne.
Miracle. Yeah,
he passed away at age 89. Lived a full life, however, but the world will miss that beautiful voice. That is for sure.
Yeah, you know, so, and I want to, since we're on the arts at the moment, and even though I have some things that are pulling at me this morning to, but I would like to tell everybody that I had a lovely, lovely, truly honest theater experience. Last night, and I mean movie theater experience.
Oh.
Here's the caveat. If you're looking for pyrotechnics, if you're looking for mass CGI, computer graphic assistant, if you're looking for fakery and all kinds of illusions, do not go to this movie.
What movie?
It was so nice. I'm going to keep you in suspense. It was so nice to watch something that was a conversation, that was about acting, that was about people, lots of close-ups of eyes where you could see emotions pop. And who am I talking about?
Yes, who are you talking about?
None other than the award Oscar-winning diva of divas from the BBC, Dame Judith Dench.
Oh, love her. Love her.
She plays. Now, if anybody's seen something in Mrs. Brown, she played the young Queen Victoria when she was younger in her life. She played the young Queen Victoria who had, I think, a footman or a servant who was some Scottish, just very, brusque sort of dude that she fell in love with. And that she played Queen Victoria when she was very young in her career. Now, Janet, she is playing Queen Victoria at the end.
Oh,
And
wow.
The show is called Victoria and Abdul. And folks, I do not think it's going to stay in the theaters much longer because, of course, things are not exploding and, you know, no baby daddy, mommy, daddy, baby, mommy, you know, ghetto shit is going on. It is incredible. Janet, the preface real quick is you see this woman who has had it. She has been through it all. She's gone through 11 prime ministers. She's 80-something years old. I mean, the list of shit goes on. And she's at a state's dinner table meeting, and she's literally falling asleep. And she is to be presented. I'll just give you the setup. She's to be presented by two, quote, she thinks are Hindu people from her empire in India, which they owned for 50 years, whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah.
Some kind of an honorary medal. And of course, they plucked these two Indian guys out of the crowd and told them they had to come because they were tall. So they're wondering what they're doing in this strange place of England. You can imagine, you just imagine it. And they were brought, no joke, from India just to walk into the hall with a pillow, present a coin, and bow and walk out. Well, that's not what happened. This guy, and when I tell you, it's not that I'm not an equal opportunity employer. When you see those fucking Indian men and they're gorgeous with the almond eyes, you know, they look like Aladdin. They look like, like when they're gorgeous, you want to throw up in your mouth. Like you can't even look, they're so gorgeous, right? So he was told, go in, present the ring. Never look at her in the eye. Never look. I mean, it was said 3 times. So, of course, you know, they're setting you up. So he bows, gives the coin. She doesn't even say anything. He starts to walk away. And, of course, his curiosity. He's in England. I mean, so he lifts up and he looks up and he looks at her and they catch eyes. And the camera comes in close on both of their eyes. And you literally watch the shape of their eyes change.
Wow.
And it's from that moment that she's like, bring the Indian here. And he becomes her most trusted confidant. And it's based on mostly true stories. There's an actual picture of this Hindu Indian guy standing right next to Queen Victoria while she's signing things.
It sounds like a soul connection, right? Have you've seen, you know, your own experience in your own life when you've looked into somebody's eyes and there's that spark or something that connects you with them?
Here was this older woman who obviously her business had dried up a long time ago. It was not about, you know, it was not about her being sexual.
Yes. Yeah.
But it was about how love can transcend. I myself have young men who are, you know, looking for daddies or they want to be molded and that's fine. And I know damn well that there's no way I'm going to have a relationship other than a mentoring relationship with a 25-year-old. You get my drift?
Yeah, gotcha.
I mean, not to say that the flesh doesn't snap beautifully. I'm just saying that it's never going to go anywhere. And you can see it in her eyes. Here is a world-traveled woman. And she realizes, but on the first meeting, it's hysterical because they're at a dinner and said something, Your Highness, I'm so sorry about the slave, blah, blah, blah. She said, it's quite handsome, you know. And the show starts from there. It is the most beautiful, beautiful love relationship you have ever seen. I cried like a bitch throughout the whole thing. So if anybody wants a cathartic, beautiful story that's truly written well, I mean, it's very BBC. It's just all about, you know, this is why we come off like cretins.
And it's called Victoria and Abdul?
It's about the story between these two people.
Love it. Wow. Thanks for sharing, Jason. Yeah. So we've turned into movie critics this week.
Why not?
It's exciting, right? Why not? In fact, you know what, Jason, you always seem to go see the not normal seen or viewed movies. And I like that because, you know, here I live, you know, that movie's probably never going to come to my theater, to my local theater. I'd probably have to go to Seattle to be able to see that. And of course, who's going to drive 75 miles to go see a gosh darn movie? Probably not me.
And while the movie is good, not for 75 miles. You know, wait until that fuck comes out on Netflix or something. But whatever.
Exactly. But I'll be watching for it. Thank you so much.
One of the reasons I went was because it was one of those English-British epic films. You know, they pan out and all of a sudden, you know, they're on a mountain in Scotland. And he's assisting her and he's in this weird garb. And she goes, so how do you like Scotland? And he goes, well, my clothes are, Your Highness, my clothes are so itchy. And she goes, everything in Scotland is itchy. And the son tries to dethrone her at one point, calling her insane. If Judi Dench doesn't get an Oscar for this one monologue, where she literally, anyway, it's just worth seeing.
Yeah, very good. Sorry guys, my phone's ringing. It never rings this early, so I never think of taking it off the hook.
Oh, well, you're a busy
so let's dive into the astrology of the day, because I know people are watching and they want to hear what's up today.
Oh, well.
Today's going to be a mixed bag sort of day. I think overall, it's going to be a really good day. You know, yesterday I did a radio show with a friend of mine down in Australia, and we were talking about fear. And I had, tomorrow on my radio show, we're going to do the same kind of information that I did with her yesterday about the different fear gates that have been sort of activated over the last several days, several weeks of the sun's transiting through all of the gates of the spleen. Well, the moon is also moving through those gates every month. So every month that, you know, we get sort of triggered by something. And it made me go, oh yeah, today the moon is going to transit across 8 degrees of Capricorn. And 8 degrees of Capricorn sets off a Star of David in my own personal astrology chart, which kicks off a great creative energy for the day. And of course, you and I have plans later to talk about the course that we're going to try to develop. And to me, timing was like perfect. This is a perfect day. But that's because I know my own astrology chart. So it is a good idea for all of you to understand your astrology chart in a really good way, because then you can sort of plan your month to go along with when the moon will be activating certain parts of your chart. I mean, obviously that's complex.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking shit right now. Let me tell you why, folks. Just don't, that's bullshit. Don't listen to her. You want to know what the fuck is going on in your chart? Call Janet. That's, everything else is bullshit, because I've looked at my chart and I'm like, oh, Mercury is in my anus. No.
It is, I agree. It is kind of difficult to know your own chart without some help. But understanding that the moon is also transiting through your human design chart. And this is where it gets really fascinating, because, you know, there's one type called a reflector that has no definition in any centers. In fact, if you look at their chart, everything's white. The only thing that they have that is any kind of definition at all are through the gates, which means that they're people that have to have other people in their lives to ever get any kind of definition. Wow. But every month, the moon, as it moves through the zodiac or through the human design chart, or the landscape of the human design chart, creates definition for them. So it made me think, well, yeah, but that's happening to all of us. It's extraordinary for reflectors, definitely, because it gives them access to energies that they don't normally have. But that same cycle of the moon every month is opening you up, closing you up, challenging you, elevating your consciousness all throughout the month. So, you know, because I was
a fucking lunatic.
Correct, right? I'm sure there are times we feel that way. But today, we are ending in a very powerful way, because the moon today will conjunct Pluto. And it's one of the more powerful times of the month when the moon comes around and hits that planet of transformation. You know, since we've all been dealing with a lot of fear and a lot of things going on in our lives, and I've not been the exception to that rule, as, you know, we've talked about. It's a very powerful day today to take that dive through the underworld and come back out clean, fresh, pure, with a new perspective, with a new view to what is possible, as opposed to getting stuck in that thread of I can't, or I shouldn't, or, you know, all of that chatter in our heads that says, oh, you can't do that. Oh, you can't go there. Oh, no, that costs too much. Or how are you going to be able to afford that? Or, you know, all that stuff that goes through our heads. So overcome it today. This is a great day for that. The morning, we start with the gate 58 with the moon. And that's the gate of bliss, vitality. If you're in the shadow of it, it's dissatisfaction with your life. Take that dissatisfaction that you're feeling and elevate it up and just Feel the energy of gratitude for everything that's around you and everything that you have. And later in the day, when we get to the conjunction with Pluto, we're going to be at gate 38, which is the gate of struggle, fight. And it causes us to take up the energy of perseverance, because if it's worth, you are worth the effort it takes to get your life where you want it to be.
Stop. When is that aggressive energy coming in?
It's not aggressive energy, it's deep energy. And that'll be later this afternoon, early this evening. My time this evening, your time this afternoon.
Will that dissipate by tomorrow?
Oh, yeah. It will definitely dissipate by tomorrow. But this is a really good time. I mean, look at the struggle you've been through in the last couple of days, right? Unnamed fears, unnamed, for some reason, just out of the blue, energy comes up and it's causing you to feel emotional or experience old shit, right? Well, this particular moon conjunct Pluto allows you to let that go, to transmute it, to transform it, right? To use the energy of the earth, maybe push, letting that energy just drain into the earth.
This is perfect.
Yeah, it is perfect. So I don't want people to be afraid of that kind of transit, because it's cathartic.
You know what? And I'd like to make an addendum to what you said. People know the Argonauts and such. I have zero problem sharing my personal life to a certain extent. But I want to make a serious comment to all of you out there, especially, people like our trusted listener, Michelle, etc. I literally called Janet, which it's rare that I call her and I'm like, do you have 5 minutes? I'm not okay. She knows when I say
exact words you said.
She's like, of course. So folks, for as much as you think I might be off the wall or uncategorically zany, there is a Capricorn sure-footedness, stubbornness that happens with me, and Janet knows that. Well, I came to her yesterday and I said, I'm not okay. Can you please look at my chart? And when I said I'm not okay, I thought, oh, fuck, I'm going to maybe need to see my psychiatrist and have my bipolar meds dealt with. And I mean, I really haven't had any issues with that. The very highs are out. The very lows are out. Found something that works, folks. I'm the poster child, Yeah. So for me to come out of the blue with stuff, I was experiencing anger, which was fear rooted. For men, take the anger off. What's underneath? Fear. For women, take the anger off. What's underneath? Sadness. We're hooked up differently. So I was so angry and I couldn't figure out. I was spitting tacks. I called Janet up and within 5 minutes, of course, I was crying. Why am I telling you all this? Well, because this shit came out of the blue. It was totally, what do you call the surprises? Is it Neptunian is surprise, or is it
Uranus?
Uranian fucking energy is, I was just like, I mean, seriously? If I had been on the phone with other people or friends, I probably would have ended a friendship. I probably would have done something severe. And that's why this card came up.
Oh, let's see. What is that card?
This is the Six of Wands. I'm going to start bringing it in.
Yep.
One of my favorite cards, Janet. It's a difficult card, but it's a favorite of mine. Can you tell me what you see by any chance?
I see the eye down at the bottom, and I see that there are waves of interference, perhaps crossing the 6 wands.
Can you see how those are layers? There's a layer here, then there's a layer above, and there are these wands going up in front of it. But these layers behind there are layers. This is the top layer, medium layer, middle layer. Underneath is the eye of God. Underneath is the eye of God. And let me tell you, people, when the eye of God decides it's going to burn the truth into you, those layers are being literally burned. Look at how hot the card is. That's fire. That's burning those layers away to get to da-da-da,
The eye.
all that is. So that card always tells me that people are going through hard stuff, looking at shit, staring it down, going, I don't need this. Like people talk about the layers in an onion.
Yes. Peeling them all one by one.
And that's the card for today, the Six of Wands. So know that this is a good burnishing. This is the testing of your metal in a way that peels away the shit. Aren't you all tired of your own bullshit? I know that I am, as spiritual and oh my God.
I do know what you mean, because sometimes I'm so tired of it too. I just want to spit, especially when I go myself down those holes, right? Because it's, something. Anyway,
I got it.
We got human. It. We go through the holes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I also point out that we've been very lucky. Every morning I see our numbers of actual live viewers go from 5 to 7 to...
Yeah.
Great that we have some people going at the exact same time. Anywho, what else? I think that's it for me on my end, except for my show tonight, which
talk about a little bit about your show so that people understand what's coming up.
Janet and I sometimes like to, as you listen to the intro to my show, you'll see that I don't just talk about the tarot and metaphysica. I talk about other subjects that involve metaphysica as well. I don't really get into politics. I don't really get into certain things.
Oh, I drag him into it.
I leave that to her. But we do like to engage in other things. Janet had a wonderful substance abuse lady on, Phoebe, was it?
No, Jody.
Jody. And tonight, I have none other than what I'm hoping is going to turn into a monthly edition, the Chiropractic Corner, with none other than Dr. Philip Di Pasquale. Di Pasquale, you know what I'm saying? He's a healer.
And he's gorgeous. I saw his picture.
Whatever, man. I want to strangle the son of a...
I was not Facebook stalking him. I was website stalking him yesterday.
And ladies, he is available and delicious. I have to tell you something. I hugged him yesterday to say thank you. And I was like, damn, motherfucker. I was like, you go ahead. And I'm not going to say how old he is, but let's just say he is older than us.
He is?
Uh-huh. So when I tell you he is living well, and he has learned, so this man, sorry about the landscapers outside. So this man is a true healer. I am down to maybe 2%, 3% pain.
Love it.
He also is involved in a line of healing products. He's very much like Christy from Christy's Corner. He only uses the doTERRA oils. All I can say to you is I'm bringing him in tonight. I even have a couple friends who are suffering from some chronic issues that will be calling in this evening. I'm hoping, fingers crossed. Janet said something 6 to 8 months ago, which has set me on my ass and actually set her on her ass while she was reading it. It seems that the great Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, had said, if you wish to be a proper physician of any respect and repute, something along those lines, I'm ad-libbing.
Yes.
That one must have a full and working knowledge of astrology. Now that already is a fucking mind-blowing, like,
yeah.
Like the brain goes straight up. So to have this man who wrote the Hippocratic Oath of do no harm, not only did he understand that, but one of the reasons I thought, Janet, let's have him on the show is because one of the first things that Dr. Di Pasquale came out with was a line from Hippocrates where he said, look well to the spine for the causes of illness. Look
Interesting.
Well. And what's incredible, I wish I had it, and maybe I'll get a picture of it and I don't know, maybe I'll send it to you and you can somehow blast it and I'll blast it. It's of something called the autonomic nerve response. In other words, every vertebra is responsible for I'm covering the lens, sorry, for a different organ. and such. All I can say to you is I am almost completely pain-free.
You gotta love it.
And am I stiff? Am I still dealing with musculature issues? Yeah, but I'll fucking deal with it. I'll take that over, holy cow. So he's coming on tonight, and I'm hoping, and he's a pisser. He is a pisser. I want people to know about him. I want people to know about chiropractic because it's a huge part of my life. I was named after a chiropractor's son. So there's going to be it's going to be a very interesting, I hope, show tonight.
Yes, sounds like it. I can't wait.
7 p.m. my time and 4 p.m. Janet's time. And tomorrow on Janet's show,
we delve into fear.
Again?
You don't have to feel the fear. You just have to understand it and be willing to transmute it.
I would much rather be willing to stand, look, and point and laugh.
You could do that. Sometimes a little humor, a little laughing at yourself goes a long way to healing.
Kept me out of the booby hatch.
Very true. Okay, guys. Well, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll be here again tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Pacific. And what is that time? Your time? 11 a.m. Jason's time. Sunshine time in his part of the world. Not so much in mine. We'll see you this afternoon, 4 o'clock p.m. for Jason's show, or we won't see you. We'll hear you. I'm trying out a new microphone tonight, Jason, so
maybe you'll have to do that now. Maybe you and I should test it now.
We should probably test it. I did test it yesterday. I did a test radio show, and it sounded so good. So we shall see. Hopefully my show can get back on air on the radio, and we can do other things on live video. So we wish you all well today. I wish you bliss for the morning, and I wish you smooth sailing through the afternoon. Bye, everybody. Much love. Mwah. Bye, Jason. Talk to you soon.
See you in a little bit.
The broadcast does not want to end.